Yes.
We do not do 90% of the things that we can be doing because we're waiting for the perfect moment. We're waiting for the perfect time. We're waiting for all the stars to align so that we're ready when that opportunity comes. I learned this really early in my age, and this applies to anything in life. Opportunity is like chance. Opportunity is like luck. Opportunity drives right past you, right? And if you're sitting there trying to time your perfect moment in life with luck, the chances of that happening, you know what that was at?
1%?
Probably less than that.
Yeah.
Entrepreneurs and opportunities, why timing may crush both. Hello, everyone. I hope you enjoyed our little clip from official Fred Cary that we played for you. Let us know that you're with us by typing in #life. Hey, Barry. Hi, Daniel. Patrick, good to have you here. We're going to talk about opportunities and timing and how those tie together and cost a lot of us the future that we might want and deserve. So I'm going to get Fred Cary in here. All right. So I'm Tessa. I'm the marketing director at IdeaPros, and this is Fred Cary, CEO of IdeaPros. Hey, Fred, how are you?
Good. How's everybody doing?
And they're alive and answering us in the chat. Hey, guys, and I know you always #live. Let us know if there was ever an opportunity that timing came into and you either took it or you didn't. So let me know in the chat if you had one of those opportunities in your life that timing was a factor in. And we're going to talk about how that has to do what timing can do to your opportunities and your entrepreneur, your business as well, right, Fred?
To your entire life, every aspect.
Everything.
Yeah. Was that pause?
That's my, that's
Need to get started?
for Fred to take the show from here.
Yeah. So we're always waiting for that perfect moment for things to happen. And hi, everybody. The perfect moment rarely aligns with the opportunities that come by your desk or that come by you in one form or another, whether you're talking about personal opportunities or business opportunities. And what happens to us, we have this kind of fear of launching as an entrepreneur, fear of launching when we're not 100%. We have fear of acting on things before we feel that we're ready. And the problem with that is one part of it involves very careful planning. And the other part, the opportunity part, is sporadic and chance and circumstance, and it can happen at any moment. And when you try to time the perfect moment for an opportunity to come, chances of that happening are really, really minimal. So I want to focus this segment on the fact that even when you think you're not quite ready to go, if you have an opportunity and it's an amazing opportunity, it's an opportunity to change your life, to start your business, to move your career around, even personal opportunities, but we won't focus on that part. We focus that more on Instagram and TikTok, but here we're all business. And the business opportunities that come your way are going to come when they're ready to come, not when you're ready to receive them. How do we change our mindset so that every opportunity that comes our way, we have the potential of taking advantage of those opportunities? That's what I want to focus on today.
Well, and you have some stories of when timing came into your life and you embraced it. I don't know if you want to start with that now with an example for everyone.
I can give a couple of examples and then we'll dig into it a little bit more. But, I'm also an attorney. I became an attorney by chance. I had no inclination to be an attorney. I went from producing concerts in my mid-20s to managing bands as well. And I negotiated with these two attorneys regarding the management of a band for probably 3 months back and forth. And at the end, they wanted to know who my attorney was, and I let them know I didn't have one. And they said, "Hey, if you go to law school, we'll make you a partner right away because, well, whatever." They thought I could do a really good job. So I said, "Okay." And I became a partner in a law firm. Don't tell anybody. Before I was a lawyer. That's your limitations is when. And then I I went to law school and I took the bar exam and I became an attorney. It was completely a chance situation, an opportunity that I wasn't expecting, that I didn't want to even, I had no inclination to go that way. And yet that happened. And it's been instrumental in the rest of my business career because when you have that degree, it allows you to, and people who deal with attorneys probably think opposite of this, but it really lets you look at all sides of the equation and try to figure things out. Because if you're a litigator, you have to understand what the other side is going to present, so you have a chance to win your argument. But if you're using it in business, then you consider all the possibilities. It's just in your nature because of your training. So making that move was completely opportunistic, and it completely altered the rest of my business life because it allowed me to think more openly and allowed me to take down a lot of barriers that you find yourself having when you want to just present your point of view without thinking of anybody else's. So that's one particular example. Another example is with a company I started called Imagine Communications. And that company really was formed on the foundation that HD video was coming to play, and all the cable companies were really cursed because their cable network would only support 1 megabit of data, and you needed at least 1.5 to send an HD broadcast. They were literally doomed because if you didn't have HD, then people were going to go to other sources. Our company started building technology to alleviate that problem. And when we started, we had no idea what we were going to do, but we had great demand from cable companies that we create something that saved their butts. And we ended up creating a technology that quadrupled their throughput, and it went from 1 meg to 4 megs using the same infrastructure. They didn't have to do anything else except put our product set into the mix. And now that company's $700-800 million a year company. And again, that opportunity was there. We weren't ready for it, but we went after it and found a way to make it happen. If instead, in both of those occasions, hey, I'm not going to law school, I don't want to be a lawyer, or no, we don't have any technology to address that issue, then those two golden opportunities would have just gone past. So what do we need to do as entrepreneurs when we have things like that? In my view, when you have a really good opportunity that's going to advance you in the business or the idea that you have and you want to move forward in, you need to grab that opportunity, even if you don't feel you're ready, even if you don't feel that you have everything in place. Because once that opportunity is there and once you can grab it, then you can make all those other things happen. If you're waiting for that perfect moment when you're 100% with everything, everything's built perfectly, and you feel you're now ready to go, there may not be any opportunity there for you. So opportunity first, being completely prepared is second. So always grab it. If it's something really good and you think you can get there, grab that opportunity, because that's going to end up changing your life. It's better to go out and do something imperfectly than to wait till you're perfect and not get an opportunity to do anything at all.
Love it. So you're going to grab the opportunity. I think you, in some of your Instagram clips, you also talked about a mindset that you can do it. So you have to get out of that limiting belief that you're limited in what you have to get out of the limiting belief that you can't accomplish something. So how do you recommend people do that if you truly are struggling with jumping in?
The same way I recommend to, I get hundreds of DMs, private messages on the Instagram page a week, probably a day. And we actually have two assistants to help us with it. And it's really cute. Once in a while, I'll get something from like a 13-year-old boy or 14-year-old girl, and they want to really tell this other person that they like them, and maybe go to a school dance or a movie or whatever, and they're really afraid to ask. And it kind of makes me smile, because I also get really serious questions, and some people that are really distraught with their lives. But this is a good example of what I tell them applies to everything. If you don't ask, the best you can do is no. Right? If you ask, the worst you can do is no. And so once you have that mindset with everything you do, then your life changes. If you have a belief that you can do anything and then you fail some of the times, it's a lot better than having a belief that you can't do it, because then you're never going to execute on it, and you will be right all the time, that you're going to fail every time because you're not even trying. And so if you can have that mindset that I'm going to grab this opportunity and I'm going to figure it out along the way, like entrepreneurship is jumping out of an airplane and then building a parachute on the way down, figuring out how to keep from dying. It's pretty much, and you got to have that mindset when you're getting ready to go in business. We have several different products now that are launching, and some are getting ready to launch. And I'm trying to instill that mindset too. No, it's not perfect. No, this handle is an 1/18 of an inch different than where it should be. Let's get it out there. 1/16 of an inch, actually, you would say. Get it out there. Let's do something with it. Version 2, round 2, round 3, we can make those minor tweaks, minor adjustments. I don't love the packaging the way it is. So what? Go live, because now you can start selling product. Now you can, if you have an app, start getting downloads. Now you can move things along. And if you have that perfection mindset with a physical product, you're going to go back and forth with the engineers dozens of times, sometimes, and that's expensive and it takes time. And when an engineer has to make a change, you're looking at 3 weeks, 3 months for even small changes, because of the complexities of what they do. Any change you make affects the entirety of everything else. And so just don't demand perfection, demand action, and demand the get me out there and let's get going, and then we can fix things along the way. If you have severe problems that something's going to explode when somebody plugs in, obviously that doesn't apply. But when you have things that are just not 100% there, but just about, go for it. And you need to do that with everything that you do. There are opportunities out there every day if you think that you can do anything.
Right. So checking your mindset is the best way that I can describe what Fred was just summarizing. But make sure that you're in the right mindset, that can do mindset. And then I think, again, I'm gleaning all this from all the information we get from official Fred Cary, but you do talk about surrounding yourself with the people. When you went with Imagine Communications, you had a team of people that could help you accomplish that. So I think that's a really important one to bring up too, is do you have the right people who can help you? It's a support system of your family possibly, or it's entrepreneurs or other business professionals like IdeaPros can help provide that additional, push to get you to where you need to go, that motivation and that expertise. So I think that was another one that we should cover too.
Yeah. So to respond to Tessa's statement here, she really covered two things that are important. One is surrounding yourself with the right people, which I have in Tessa. And the other one is what we just talked about, believing you can do anything, which is what Tessa asked me 10 minutes before we started. What are we going to talk about? I said, I don't know. Here she is making bullet points like she's planned this a month ago. But, the way I do everything, the way, if you follow me on Instagram, every single thing I do on Instagram, I never think about it ahead of time. The camera goes on and I start talking. And that's because I believe I can do it. I believe when the camera comes on, I'll have something to say. Of course, I have 70 years of knowledge, so there's always a bunch of shit in here that I have to unload. So it's kind of easier for me. But Tessa is right in there in the trenches with me. So So yeah, surrounding yourself with the right people empowers you to take advantage of those opportunities, even if you don't feel like you're completely ready. When you have a team around you that is supportive and that can contribute and can be your kind of idea factory, um, that really, really helps you get along. And in the case of American Communications, I had two founders with me that were both engineers, and a team of engineers in Israel that were really, really amazing people. And so I relied on them as much as anything else. So definitely surround yourself with people who believe in what you're doing, who can contribute physically and mentally and strategically, which is part of the mentally part, to what it is you want to do, and you're going to find a way to get there. The reality is, sometimes those opportunities are going to come by once, and then if you're sitting there waiting for your perfection, that opportunity will never come by again. This thing with Imagine Communications is a prime example. That's something that needed to be figured out, and if we didn't figure it out, then somebody else would. And now Imagine Communications, I really don't have anything to do with it anymore. But now 75% of the households in the world have Imagine Communications equipment. The TV households have Imagine Communications equipment somewhere in the infrastructure. They don't, it's not on the TV or anything, but it's part of the solution that's providing that signal to the house. And so, be it for that one opportunity that was passed, none of that may have happened.
And I think one of the things that I want to bring up too is that you shouldn't dwell on the opportunities that you did miss because they're not helping you to move forward as well. I know that's a big thing. And we talked about, were there times in the chat, I see you guys chatting about what opportunities you had. I think it's important that if you move on from that. If you did miss an opportunity, well, now you've learned from it, and you can change that the next time something great comes along.
It's funny that you said that, because there is a subset of entrepreneurs that partner with us that when they come on board, they say, I thought of this idea like 7 years ago and I didn't do anything with it. And then 3 years later, boom, it's on the shelves everywhere. Or boom, somebody came up with this app. And now I have this new idea and I'm not going to let go of it this time. So yeah, when you do have a missed opportunity and you see what happens when you don't take it or you don't execute on it, then that's a great lesson, because you get to take it forward. And the next time that you have that opportunity, if it comes, whatever that opportunity is, you're going to react differently to it. So again, on the Instagram page, I talk about you can't live in the future and you can't live in the past, right? You have to live in the present. So when you have those things that went by you and could have made a turn in your life one way or another, and you didn't take that, you can't dwell on it. You need to learn from it. And then the future is just used for your vision, for your purpose, for the goals that you have, but it needs to be parked in the future. And you need to really focus hard on the present and take advantage to build your skill sets, to build whatever it is that you're building, whatever company you're trying to grow, and to be optimistic, to believe you can do anything, and to keep your eye out, because before you're ready, something may come by that can change your life, and it's not going to change your life if it just passes.
I love it. Well, we have one more clip I wanted to show, because that was a perfect final thought, if you ask me. But did you need to say anything else to everyone, Fred, before we play the final clip, which wraps it all up?
No, I'm good.
We got it. Well, before I let you go, though, I do want to have there's tons of comments. Everyone is very on board with the positive mindset, the dream, believe, stay focused, positive attitude, Kelly says. And then also we have someone that I just had the privilege of meeting, Dion, and he said, speed trumps perfection. So that's great. Good to see you here, Dion. And so I'm going to play this final clip, and then we will, before I let Fred go, though, guys, every Friday at noon Pacific time, we cover entrepreneurial topics. And information. Fred mentioned this business information, but we blend in a little bit of that official Fred Cary content because you need to be balanced and have the personal side as well as the business side. Definitely follow official Fred Cary over on Instagram, and then make sure you hit the bell to get the reminder when we go live. Next week, we have a partner on who is coming, has Savers is coming on next week and talking about her product. And we're kind of doing a little interview of her journey along Indian spices is the best way to put that. And
that's absolutely not a good way to put it. A different way.
Okay, Fred's going to put it into perspective here.
Yeah, and by the way, we're talking about lives. It's 6 p.m. Pacific on Wednesdays. On Instagram, I do a live there, and I focus less on the business, more on building you up as a person, because you can't have a great business without having a great person that runs it. So you need to build up who you are in order to build up what it is that you want to do. And that's why when people say, Christ, Fred, you're an entrepreneur. Why are you talking to me about romance and kids and life and doing something fun and being engaged with what you do instead of just business? Because we don't want you to be an Enron or WorldCom. We don't want to, well, they became huge multinational billion-dollar organizations, but they went down because of the lack of character and ethics of their leadership. So that's why we need to create well-rounded people as well as good businesses. But back to Savers. When Savers came to us, they have a spice kit, Indian spice kit, and it's 3 sisters, and they're amazing. And they wrote 2 cookbooks that sold 50,000 or more copies of these cookbooks. And they came to us wanting to sell these tins. I think it's 13 spices in these tins, which is traditional Indian households. And we pivoted that, and now they're going to be competing against the McCormick spices of the world. And what we've had them do is create these kits that will sit next to those glass jars with the green labels that you have sitting in your cupboard for 3 years when you needed a little bit of it to make a dish that you never made again. These kits will have all the spices you need, and we're starting with Indian food, but we're going to hit all sorts of cuisines. All the spices you need to make a certain dish. And so it'll tell you what the dish is, the ingredients. There's a shopping list on the back of it. So for grocery stores, it's awesome because anybody that's buying that also has to buy everything on the shopping list. So it's a big upsell for them. And it has the recipe in there and everything. It's really interesting. And I think it's going to slay it on the grocery store aisles compared to the big spices that do nothing but fill your cupboard. So anxious to see them. Let's wrap it up.
All right, guys.
See what we got. But thanks, guys, for coming. You're all awesome. And
thank you. See you all next week. But stay for the video because it's a really good one.
The reality is that not every single opportunity that you take is going to pan out.
Yeah.
But every opportunity that you don't take is definitely not going to pan out. What you need to realize in your lives is that opportunities, as Alejandro said, are like trains coming by. And you either get on board or you don't. And when you don't get on board, you may be sitting at that station for a real long time. And what opportunity comes out may be really inferior to the one that you already had.